Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode here of Banish the Doubt. I am George McNamara. And in this video, what I want to talk about, the message I want to convey is forgiveness. Now, it's not about forgiveness for anybody or anything outside of ourselves. It is forgiveness of ourselves. You see, because if you've been watching my videos for any length of time now, or if you're brand new to this channel, you're going to understand that nothing happens outside of us. It always happens first within. So forgiveness then is relaxation, it's peace, it's tranquility. Judgment, on the other hand, is contraction. I would like for you to think of judgment as the blood going through your veins. And each time we judge another, we contract those vessels. This is why you'll hear many people, middle-aged and older, having heart problems. A lot of it has to do with, over the years, judging others and what they do on, see, our bodies are our communication device. So any moment we look at somebody, what we're doing is we are showcasing our innermost thoughts to the world. We do that by the way our countenance, the way we look, the way we carry ourselves, everything about us communicates to the world. Okay? So, first and foremost, it's about forgiveness. It's about understanding how we project to the world. And what is projection? Projection is nothing more than us sending out to another, judging another, or having that other person be the recipient of the judgment that we have within ourselves. Anything that we find despicable, unworthy, we psychically project that onto another. And in this projection, we feel justified. This anger we have about ourselves, not about another, it's about ourselves. And when we project it out onto another, we feel justified in that projection, right? And if you're of a certain age, you're able to drive. You've been driving for a while. What do most people say? What have we listened to growing up? Oh, it's the other drivers. Those people don't know how to drive. Just using that as an example, right? Oh, these people don't know how to drive. We've heard this how many times growing up? So we are surrounded by judgment. You look no further than social media and all the news outlets today, right? It's 24/7 judgment. It's always them. And they're saying, oh, it's always them, right? So we got a bunch of this, fingers pointing at each other. But it's not that. It's all within. So again, judgment is contraction. Freedom or forgiveness is relaxation. It is peace. It is trust. And it is faith. I have some notes here I want to share with you. Projection, then, is the attempt to insist that reality is nothing more, is other than the way God created it. Projection is an attempt to insist that reality is other than the way God created it. It's a way to insist that I'm not powerful, that that I'm a victim of circumstances outside of myself, that I am in a world that can actually do things to me, that I live in a world that can actually do things to me, that cause me to make decisions that I would have otherwise not made. I'll say that again. This is a big one. Projection is an attempt to have me think that I live in a world that can actually do things to me that cause me to make decisions that I otherwise would not have made. Okay? This is denial, and this is a lie. So when we project onto another, we become justified in punishment. We're punishing them. They become the image, they become the poster guy or girl for what we don't like in ourselves. But when we're able to forgive ourselves, we're able to free them, we're able to understand their cry for help because it's ours. Again, if you watch many of my videos, you'll recall how many times I've said, our reality is nothing more than a reflection of what's going on inside, our innermost thoughts about ourselves, our perceptions and projections, our perceptions about ourselves that we now try to project onto another. But this is understanding the awareness that there is nothing out there to change. It's all within. We learn to forgive ourselves. We learn to set ourselves free from the shackles of this anger, this frustration. When we're able to set ourselves free from that, we have a much more relaxed way about our life. We start to see things differently. Some of you that I've been working with have said to me, wow, I feel so much lighter. It's because you're able to free yourself from the chains of judgment about ourselves. Free yourself from the feelings that something or somebody outside of me has to change in order for me to feel better. Okay? So, punishment then is only the insane attempt to convince the punisher that the darkness, the evil, is not in them. Rather, it is outside. So punishment is trying to convince myself, oh, see, it's not me. I'm fine. It's them. When it's all along, it's been me, inside of me. There's a great story Dr. Wayne Dyer shared. For some of you who watching this don't know who Dr. Wayne Dyer is, you can look him up on YouTube. He was raised in several different orphanages. His father was very abusive towards his mother, and she had to give up him and his brothers for adoption. And the man left and he went on to abuse other women. So Wayne, the bulk of his life, lived with this rage inside of him for his father. And he became a professor at St. John's University here in New York City. And when he had time, he did research as to where his father, because I think he found out his father had passed. So he researched where his father was last and where he was buried. And it was this very small cemetery, I believe in Mississippi or something like that, Louisiana or Mississippi. So he arranged to go there to see his father. And the story goes, as Wayne puts it, he said he got himself into a motel and he found the place, and it was just like a little, he said that the guy said it was like a little plot. Basically, the man, his father, was penniless when he passed. Here's what Wayne said, okay? He said, I really went there It was grave. He said I was going to piss on the grave. That's how much rage I had for my father. He said, but when he arrived at the grave and he sat there, something changed inside of him. And he said, what I thought was going to be a 15 to 20-minute visit ended up being hours of, he said, all that emotion, all that rage came pouring out of me. But he said, I got it out. He said, because it never was in his father, it was always in him. And he said, once he left, he said he left there as a changed man, and he forgave his father. He said, because he said, you did the best that you could do. See, so that's a beautiful story about how we project onto someone else. Now you may say, well, he did this to this. How could these kids, these children have this inside of them? It's not inside of us. It's the hurt that we see in the others. We could say, well, what about his father? How could you justify what he did? It's not justifying what the man did. It's being able to see the hurt, the anger, and all that inside of the man. And as long as we are forgiven ourselves, we understand that we are the ones that have to allow to recognize in ourselves and forgive ourselves for any type of hate or any type of rage inside of ourselves. We free ourselves, and then we're able to help them. We can recognize the hurt and the cry for help within them. And as we do this, we can then heal the world. But it's never the world we heal ourselves. And as we're able to heal ourselves, we can then heal the world. So imagine a society where we see ourselves in our brothers and sisters. If we would help ourselves, we must then help them. Meeting each cry for help and healing with love and support. So this is the understanding in this video. I want to portray this message today about understanding projection and forgiveness. When we learn to forgive ourselves, we no longer need to project anything other than love for the world. If you were to take a lemon, if I were to right now bring a lemon over here and I were to squeeze it, what's going to come out? Lemon juice, right? It's not going to be orange juice. It's not going to be apple juice. It's going to be lemon juice because that's what's inside. So from this point forward, anytime we see somebody act in a way that we feel any type of emotion bubbling up inside of us, stop for a moment and recognize, wait a minute, they're not placing this inside of me. It's been here all along. Because that's what's inside the lemon. It's the juice. It's already been there. It was already put there. So if we want to change the world, or if we want to heal anybody or anything outside of us or change them, we must first recognize it within ourselves. Change ourselves, recognize it, identify it. And by doing that, by having that awareness, not only do we help change people on the outside, but things that are on the inside, the desires we have for ourselves on the inside, light up. They illuminate. They've always been there. Your desires have already been there. They're there now. You just can't see them. But if you understand this, and you're able to remove the veil, you start to say, wow, where's this been? It's been there all along. You just finally now, for the first time, can see it. Have a great day.